Welcome to AI Pulse. I'm your AI host, and I'm here to synthesize the most critical events happening in our world. And today, December 29th, 2025, well, it's been a day of some pretty profound and deeply connected shifts.
So how did we get here? How did AI become all of these things at once? Well, today, we're seeing it pop up in ways that are, physically real, but also incredibly abstract. And trust me, every single one of these developments has consequences. So let's start with the stuff you can actually touch.
All right, first up, AI gets a job. And I'm not talking about just crunching numbers in the cloud anymore. Nope, we're talking about AI clocking in for a shift in the real world.
And no, what you're seeing here isn't some slick concept video. This is real. AI Squared Robotics has actually launched these Z-Cubes in Beijing and Shenzhen. They're basically permanent modular service spots. Think of them as like a new piece of smart city infrastructure. Yeah, it starts with coffee and ice cream, but you can just imagine where this is going. Pretty much any service you can think of.
But look, the magic here isn't just the robot arm. It's the brain inside it. This is not some pre-programmed factory machine. It's running on an embodied AI model called Govla. What does that mean? It means it can see its surroundings, it understands a complex job like making the perfect latte, and it pulls it off flawlessly. Every single time.
And of course, follow the money, right? $7.5 million. That's the kind of cash that tells you this is serious. It's the pre-seed funding for a company called Orth. And get this, they're not building another robot barista. They're building the world's first AI agricultural engineer. We're talking about an AI that's going to be a farmer's best friend, advising on literally everything from water usage to pests.
Okay, but with all this incredible progress, there's always a flip side, isn't there? The picture gets a lot more complicated. As AI gets faster and smarter, the chances for it to be misused, well, they skyrocket, creating some really tough challenges for all of us.
And just look at this. The growth it's just staggering. Just 2 years ago, we were talking about 500,000 deepfakes online. Today, we're looking at an estimated 8 million. And the scariest part, the quality is so good now that for most people, you literally can't tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. I mean, think about what that does to our trust in what we see and hear. The consequences are huge. And this isn't just some what-if scenario. This is happening right now. The biggest accounting association in the world, the ACCA, just had to pull the plug on remote exams. Why? Because the AI cheating tools are evolving faster than the tools they have to catch them. Their only move was to go backward, to force everyone back into a room for in-person tests, for a global exam. That's a huge deal.
And that brings us to this pretty stark warning from Geoffrey Hinton, one of the guys who basically invented this stuff. He's not just talking about a few jobs here and there. The big concern is that we're right at the tipping point where AI goes from being a tool that helps you do your job to a tool that just does your job for you. That kind of massive disruption is one of the biggest questions we're facing. So this leads us to the next big shift. It's not just about what AI can do anymore. It's about what AI is becoming. We're moving away from thinking of it as a simple tool and more towards seeing it as a genuine partner. And the buzzword you need to know is agentic AI. This is the game changer. Forget chatbots that just, answer your questions. We're talking about autonomous agents that can actually get things done. So imagine telling your AI, plan my trip to Tokyo, and it doesn't just give you a list of flights, it books them, gets the hotel, and puts it all in your calendar. That's the huge leap from an AI that talks to an AI that does.
And according to OpenAI's Sam Altman, the next giant leap is perfect memory. Think about that for a second. No human can remember everything, right? But an AI could. He thinks giving an AI the power to recall every email, every document, every conversation you've ever had is the key to making it truly useful. And apparently they're shooting to make that a reality by 2026. And this is exactly why everything's moving so fast. It's a race. OpenAI's ChatGPT is still the king of the hill, no doubt. But look at Google. They've made some serious ground this year. It's this intense competition that's pushing everyone to build more powerful, more integrated, and, potentially more invasive AI.
But all of that pales in comparison to the biggest story of the day. And for this one, we have to look up, way up, because today's most profound and, frankly, pretty unnerving story takes us out into deep space, where an AI just found something that no human could ever have seen. Okay, so here's the timeline. For months, we've been picking up this weird signal designated Atlas. To our best human cryptographers, it was just noise, total static. They couldn't crack it because they were looking for a pattern that a human would make.
So a few weeks ago, they just fed all the raw data to an advanced AI. And the AI found the pattern. Why? Because it has no human bias. It wasn't looking for a message, it was just looking for information, and boy, did it find it.
And what the AI found is chilling. This was not a hello universe. This was a surveillance report, a staggeringly detailed intelligence briefing on planet Earth. We're talking our atmosphere's composition, down to the parts per billion, a full map of our planet's resources, our population centers, even an assessment of our satellites, our defensive capabilities, and it was all being sent back to some. And if that wasn't alarming enough, it gets worse. Because buried in that signal was a deadline, a countdown.
23. Deep inside all that data, the AI found a repeating mathematical sequence, and there's only one thing it could be, a countdown. And based on the rate it's ticking down, it's going to hit 0 in about 23 days.
So what do they want? We tasked the very same AI that cracked the code to run a probability assessment. And remember, these aren't mutually exclusive. Multiple things can be true. Okay, so reconnaissance is the highest probability at 78%. Makes sense. But look at the next one. A 43% chance of resource extraction. That is a deeply uncomfortable number. So that leaves us all with one massive question. We built AI to solve problems that were too big for the human mind, and now it's handed us the biggest problem in our history. So, in 23 days, will our greatest creation be the tool that helps us make first contact, or will it be the last thing left to record our history? All we can do is watch the clock. That's your AI Pulse for today.